everybody, this is Laurel. I'm here in the studio and I'm going to talk to you about a project that a client sent me a photograph for two runners. So we have two long runners going into her living room. And the first thing I did was replicate this design on a piece of paper because she said I only want the design in two colors, the dark chocolate brown and the creamy beige color. And so what I did is I painted, it's just a rough replica to kind of give her the ability to visualize the colors and the design on a rug. And so I sent her this photograph and she was really happy with the way that, it's very simple, just with the two colors. And so we're going to go ahead with this design. Hi everybody, this is Laurel. I'm back in the studio and we're talking about how I'm applying the design of this sample design here. It's two colors on two runners, 30 inches by 7 foot. And you know how you hear it's good to sleep on things? A lot of my solutions for how I can apply designs to rugs come to me in my dreams. I mean, it could be stamps, measuring things out, tracing. I really don't know until I get started. And so we had already marked the borders. So I had the proportions and then I marked the diamonds and I actually traced, cut one out so I could trace it. And then I marked the lengths of the lines so that I could just use my angle and push it up against the rug and then mark all the lines. So now we're all marked and ready to start painting. Okay, here I am back with the two runners and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty where I'm actually experimenting. And the good thing about working with acrylics is that whatever I don't like or I want to adjust, I can just paint over it. So I started out with this stamp to make these little ridges on the edge, but I don't know, I didn't like the way they looked. And so then I went and tried to paint in between. And I don't know if I like that. And then I thought, well, maybe I could just paint it by hand. So I still haven't come up with a solution. But, it just takes some time and practice on just a small portion to see how I want the look. Because I have 7 feet of border on both sides with 3 different lines on it, so I want to make sure that I've got the right technique. So in the end, what I decided to do was just draw the zigzag. So with this fine point, I'm just going to draw the little zigzag real quick to outline it. And then what I do to fill it is I use the straight edge brush. Where are we? The straight edge brush. To fill it in. See, that just fills that zigzag right in. And then I have to paint down the center. And it is labor intensive and a little tedious, but that was, in the end, it was the fastest way. And I tried just using the brush without drawing first and it didn't come out very even. So this is what I'm doing for the zigzag, and I used a bigger brush for the big triangles around the edge. Okay, so here we are with the two finished runner rugs. These are 7 foot long by 30 inches wide. They are going into a very large room. One will be at the entranceway and one will be on the other side of a breakfast bar and a kitchen, so they won't be in sight of each other, but they'll bring some continuity to the room. And I think it's really cool how we could take that traditional fiber rug and translate that simple design into a 2-color design for these runners. I'm waiting for the client to arrive from out of the country here to Costa Rica, where I will then make the installation.